Let's analyze together ASML for 2025, 2026, even 2027. This is a long-term analysis. But before that, guys, remember to read the disclaimer right here. And here we go. You are watching right now the Nasdaq ticker of ASML. So this is in dollars. And what you can clearly see right here is the support line that started back in June, in May. I would say even in May 2019 till today. This is the bullish trend, the general trend we are watching right now. But also we are experiencing like a downtrend channel at this point that started back in June 2024. Well, let's actually gonna draw a parallel channel so you can clearly see that it's touching that support area. That right now currently is in 650, and the top of the area, the resistance level right now is, we could clearly see right here, it could touch $800 again. But at this point, this is the situation. We are just in the middle of this parallel channel. It could go up, and actually, if we go to the daily chart, it seems that way, because obviously after the earnings were good. This is the important thing, we're gonna analyze the fundamentals to see if this is gonna make sense, because for me, I would say, this is my opinion, of course, the fundamentals are the most important, the biggest factor when analyzing a stock. Is like you can see a lot of companies that are in losses, and you can see the price action is dropping every time, every week. At the end of the day, you could experience like some sort of a bullish trend for the short term, but for the longer term, it's very difficult to see that the stock is skyrocketing in that sense. So in this case, we're gonna actually see the net income, which is one of my favorite indicators. And you can clearly see right here. Let's actually load the indicator, or even, yeah, you can clearly see the latest earnings, 2.87 billion. Actually, I think it's the best results ever in the company. So obviously that's good in that sense, when we had the best earnings ever. And you can compare what happened back when it was trading and making new highs back in July 2024. At that time, the net income was almost half, of the current net income. So in that sense, the risk reward ratio is better than before. But at this point, obviously, you have to watch the trend, because obviously this industry is suffering a little bit in the latest weeks. But for the long term, I would say it's good. And actually, you can clearly see here in the forecast, because the forecast is probably tell you what's going to happen in the future. And actually, we have like 9 analysts from Wall Street. All of them they are bullish. The average is plus 23% from current levels, and the most optimistic one plus 48%. And you can clearly see right here in the first quarter 2025, let's estimate. And this is probably the problem we're experiencing right now, probably the downturn we're experiencing, because we have just the best earnings ever. But that doesn't mean that we're going to make new highs again. And this is what's going to happen, or at least this is what's going to happen according to the Wall Street analysts. The first quarter 2025 is not going to be good. And actually, it's not gonna be bad either, but it's gonna be similar to the previous quarter, the third quarter of 2024. So it's not gonna be the best earnings ever again. So this probably is like investors they are realizing that by now. So obviously it's like, okay, if it's not gonna make new highs, why should I be here? And this is probably what happened. That the stock is going down like crazy. In the second quarter, very similar to the first one. Not a problematic thing. I don't like this type of forecast. I prefer like a typical Nvidia forecast that is going up again and again and again in the next quarters. But then, and this is the interesting part, by third quarter 2025, or the best one, the last quarter 2025, this is where things change a little bit. And actually, you can clearly see the trend, it started back in 2024, the first quarter. It was 3.31 the EPS, and the reported earnings. And then it started to increase in 2024, like 4.38, 5.76, and then the last one, 7.14. So right now we are experiencing, it seems we're going to experiencing the same thing all over again. So obviously, if you want to buy the stock, maybe the best time will be the third quarter, the fourth quarter in that sense, according to this forecast, obviously. I'm right here because obviously you have to follow the trend. So if you want to buy the stock, let's go actually to the trend line. Let's draw the latest support level that we have right here. This is the critical area, to buy the stock. According to the last downturn we are experiencing, the support level was created right here. Let's actually close this net income chart. But then again, at the top is like the most risky one. You want to buy the stock at the top of the channel. This is like the very dangerous situation. And then we have another indicator, actually a couple of indicators that I use but they are very common. Many people use them. The RSI and MACD. And I like them when you go to the daily chart, even the weekly chart. You can see like the long-term analysis of the stock. I actually activate the logarithmic scale in the MACD, and I like to buy a stock when it's at the bottom area. So in that sense, right now they both are signaling the bad side. It's like, okay, at the bottom you buy the stock ASML at the bottom area of the MACD at this area. Obviously, it's very difficult to catch because look at that. We zoom in a little bit. So obviously the signal is right here from March 2022. You buy right there and you're killed a little bit. But obviously, the more you wait, and the better in that sense. And actually, it has some sort of delay when you activate the MACD with a logarithmic scale. But in that sense, if you wait enough, and for instance, you can actually combine indicators. You can when you can buy at the breakout in the long-term analysis in the weekly chart, and you can do the same right here. You can draw the line again. I would say it's this one. It's very difficult to catch this one, but maybe here is like a buying signal. But we had to wait and see a little bit. And that's the strategy that I normally use, like for the long term, obviously, because the fundamentals are good. It's like we're gonna face some challenges in the next 2 quarters, but the third one and the fourth one, they are good. I would say the only risk with this stock for the long term is just the market crash. And actually, when that happens, this is like the best buying opportunity. You can clearly see right here what happened in the past. And let's activate the logarithmic scale again. Look at the buying areas that you can have right here. Look at my February 2016. It's just a correction, a minimal correction, but that's the buying area, minus 30%. And here you can clearly see the MACD buying opportunity. Then again, October 2018. Another correction of minus 40%, another buying signal. And obviously the March 2020 is impossible to catch. It was too fast. But here, in May 2022, another correction. Look at the MACD. Look at the RSI at the bottom area. These are the areas where there is less risk, and when people didn't want to buy, it's like they try to avoid buying at those areas, but actually these are the best areas to buy. Obviously, you need to be strong, to buy at that particular point, because you see all the market crashing, or many stocks crashing, and your mind is telling you to do otherwise. But look at the long-term vision. What happens afterwards, and what happens after that downturn, after those extreme levels. Here I said, yes, you can clearly see what's happening in the future. So thank you very much for the video, guys, for watching the video, and see you in the next one. ASML. Subscribe.